Good morning. We are back. I have decided to level up my vlog game with this little gadget, aka the gimbal. So, today we have got a leg day in the temple. Now, Charles Marden, my business partner, my mentor, a friend, has purchased the old temple. And he actually has got all the equipment that is original from the temple gym, and it is actually the exact equipment that Dorian Yates used in his prime and in the Blood and Guts video. So today you are going to see a Blood and Guts leg day. I'm not even exaggerating, quite literally Blood and Guts leg day, because we do have a similar plan, minus the hack squat, which Anf Bales actually has in his gym. But nevertheless, we are going to get to use the same leg press that Dorian used in his prime all those years. So it's going to be a very, very nostalgic leg day, shall we say. And each time I actually get to use that leg press, it definitely gives you a little bit more fire. Anyway, this morning, guys, all clients are replied to, the ones that are competing anyway. So I have already done bulk of my check-ins, and it's actually 7:15. The reason why it's probably a little bit later is because, look at this. You can probably see, wait. This is my current sleep. And it has been like this consistently for a long, long time. I mean, it's generally sitting and like, that's just a usual day for me, or shall we say a low day, where we are getting like 85 sleep. So it's looking good, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely think I attribute the sleep down to a very good routine that myself and Meg have. We do take enough time before bed to actually unwind, relax. I definitely stay off my phone for at least 90 minutes before bed, which makes a big difference. I think factors that generally do impact the sleep is people try to do tasks or try to do things that generally promote wakefulness. And generally, anything that you will do on your phone will promote wakefulness, which is definitely not the most ideal, but it is what it is. It's something that I do think majority of you can actually do to fix your sleep. That combining obviously wearing blue light blockers and making sure that generally we are taking that time to unwind alongside of a high dose of dream sleep from Trained by JP, which is epic. The dreams that I have is insane. And one thing I've noticed recently as well, having added vitamin C in my nighttime supplements, I'm not waking up to pee quite as much, so I'm not passing as much water, and I have added 10 grams of glutamine pre-bed as well as an addition, and that has actually helped as well. So some tips there for you guys to improve your sleep. I will probably do a separate video on supplementation routine and what I can do to optimize recovery and sleep, similar to AJ. He's done on his channel, so credit to AJ. But I will probably do a separate one on what you can actually do with some extras on there that I think are worth adding in. Now, I do like to drink my water in the morning out of a glass. Now here, we do have a concoction of glutamine, creatine, we do have some nootropics added in there, and we do have a little bit of flavouring, which is calorie free. I do also have my vitamin D3 added in there from the capsules, the D3 and K2, which I take a very high dose of every single day. I actually take 20,000 I use every single day, because that's what actually puts me in a very good range. So if you are an assisted athlete and you are living in the UK, you are likely deficient in D3 and K2. So it's a hormone, remember guys, it is a hormone that you have to keep on top of. Now, the difference that you'll notice optimizing D3 is huge, especially when it comes to your energy levels and mood. So if you are experiencing any times, especially in the winter months, where you are feeling down as such, it's probably worth adding vitamin D3 in. I'll be honest with you. Start point, 4,000 IUs. But if you are using anabolics, anything as such, or you are training hard, you will likely need a higher dose. Guys, if you want some, code Kuba10, trainbygp.com. You know the drill. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the rest of my clients. I do have around 12 messages left to get through. So I'll probably get some of them done now. And then the rest I will probably finish on the treadmill. So let's get it. Time to start the day. Well, day's already started, but you know the drill. Okay. That is a majority of the work wrapped up. All the important stuff anyway. I always aim to walk in my office, get the bulk of the work done, especially the big important bits, as soon as I wake up. As a coach, a lot of you watching this, you'll know that the client work never truly ends, but you have to make sure that the important tasks and important work is always boxed off first thing in the morning. So if I have clients compete, they will always take priority. So the second I wake up, I actually do not have a personal phone anywhere near me. I have my work phone other side of my bedroom. So the second my alarm goes off, I am straight onto my client replies. Because I do have some guys in the Netherlands, and with the time difference, they always get me the check-ins over at like 5 a.m, sometimes even 4 a.m. my time. So as soon as I wake up, I'm straight onto replying to them, and obviously my British guys that are prepping as well. It's a busy week, busy next couple of weeks coming up with guys and girls competing. But that's what we love. Anyway, back on topic that I want to cover before I head down and do my steps. Water. I aim to finish almost this entire bottle, as this is generally just off being full, because I do use some of this for my nighttime drink when I get it ready the night before. So this is probably 1.3 litres in total. I aim to drink this within the first hour of me waking up. So I just reminded myself to actually cover hydration because I just had my last sip of this drink. So if you are struggling with your general water intake, always prioritize getting hydrated first thing in the morning. Add in some electrolytes, need be, a little bit of salt, glutamine, creatine to your drink. And there's tons of things you can add to flavour it if you don't like plain water. Always makes it much easier to go down without additional calories. So I definitely advise doing that, and it allows you to get in front with hydration. But not only that, you will find if you have got any cardio, any steps to do fasted, which I always do, and I'm a massive fan of, and I definitely think everyone should be doing, it will definitely keep you in a spot where your energy is much better and you have sustained levels of energy throughout. So it's definitely worth doing, and it already allows you to get hydrated for the day, and hydration is the key to success in training performance, cognitive function, but also even when you get on stage. So do not undervalue hydration. Anyway, time to get on the treadmill. Meal number one, we have got 125 rice, 3 whole eggs. This is going to be meal number 5, 75 grams of rice and veg. Then prawns, salmon, spinach, pineapple. Meal number 2, the rice and veg is ready. And then we've got the final bit of meal number 1, which is my venison, which is just venison steak that's minced, made into burgers. And this is going to be the peppers for tomorrow. Seasonings that I use are called Dash. They contain no salt, and they are available on Amazon. The best by far. Okay, we've got meal number 1. Before meal number 1, we've got 3 caps of Ensure and 1 Digest Pharma Pro. Code Kuba 10 for trained by JP. But this is amazing. The ingredient profile on Digest Pharma is excellent. So, guys, we've got meal number 1 going down, which is the usual. We've got my 3 whole eggs, 125 grams of venison, 125 rice, and I actually have 75 blueberries because I am keeping 25 for my pre-workout meal. So I am very much looking forward to that. Bit of a taste test. Let's see if the chef has come through. It's good. Top tip, guys, as well. Vary the rice they actually consume to keep your palate fresh. So today I have sushi rice with a mixture of sticky rice, and it gives it a unique taste and texture. See you back in the office for the update. Okay, that's meal number 1 wrapped up. We've got my morning pills to get ready now. So I want to go over quickly a few of the supplements that I think are extremely underutilized. One of them being magnesium. It is one of the essentials. And second one that I've already mentioned earlier is D3 and K2. So I do have the full Trained by GP range. If I could get this to work, it would definitely be ideal. But anyway, I do have the full Trained by JP range that I always use, and it is, boom, here. So generally, the morning pills do get done, and I am just about to box them off. So the plan is to always have these ready in little cups. Yes, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing when it comes to the decor in the kitchen, but that is what a bodybuilder's kitchen is all about. Now, I love that. I actually need a fresh tub for eggs as well. I actually take in double the dose of this because I have found huge benefits in utilising a little bit more, especially keeping the blood work super tidy. Now, curcumin is another one that I do think we need to take more of. So I actually take 2 in the morning, 3 pre-bed, the same for Meg. The main reason why you should take more of it is oral bioavailability is a little bit lesser to a degree. So if you want to get the maximum benefits from utilising curcumin for anti-inflammatory benefits and all the other fun stuff that it does with reduction of oxidative stress, etc., you should probably be utilising a little bit more. And I personally actually use the entire range of JP. We've got the OsteoPro here, which is amazing for joint health and general health as well. It does contain boron, which has actually shown some effects in reduction of SHBG. So it's a great addition, not just for joints, but general health as well. And it does have boswellia, etc. Boswellia extract, which does tend to lend itself to, again, huge improvements in your connective tissue health. I can never pronounce this, but anyway, this is the one. Whatever the name of it is, it definitely is a great antioxidant and a natural remedy for oxidative stress. Magnesium, what I mentioned. Heart care, again, another one that I do take a larger dose of personally. I take 2 caps in the morning and 4 caps pre-bed. And then my omegas, which are probably some of the most important ones, I take 2, pretty much 2 with every single meal. So I take in 10 per day, which equates to 10 grams of fats every single day coming from actual omegas, which is a lot, yes, but the benefits of quality omega intake are just vast. Even new research comes out now talking and covering mental health, etc. So it's honestly massive, the benefits that you do get from having the quality omegas added in. Astral control, especially now in prep, ideal. I do not use any IIs ever, so this comes in pretty handy. So that is pretty much the full artillery for the health subs, guys. If you do have any questions on the health subs side, please comment below and I'm more than happy to help, or you can DM me on Instagram. I can always give any advice that you need. But first, I'm going to see if I can actually get this down in one. Got the full cup. Okay. Meal one done, morning tablets done, back onto my little bout of steps. So generally I always spread out my steps across the day. I'm only doing 10,000 per day, which isn't much for a lot of you, but for me that's max of what I can tolerate before my legs start to piss away. And the easiest way to actually manage it, especially with the workload that I have and how much I have to sit on my desk, is by spreading it out into small intervals. So first thing in the morning on training days, 25 minutes fasted. Then I will do one round of posing. Then I eat my meal one. As soon as I finish eating my meal one, I do any of the chores that I have in the kitchen, and then get back on the treadmill for 4 minutes. Back in the office for the work block, and then meal two, and after meal two, another 5 minutes. So that's how I spread them out, and it's a quick and easy, effective way to do it. If you are working an office job, utilise your breaks, utilise any time where you get the option to go and have a little stroll, get it done, get your steps up. I promise you, being more mindful of being active and actively stepping will have huge benefits, not just for health, but also your ability to tick off your target when it comes to your step count. Okay, we are wrapped up for the day. Majority of the tasks and work is boxed off. Weekends are normally a little bit easier and a little bit quieter. So today's Saturday, and generally the workload isn't quite as high, so I can always manage to get wrapped up pretty early. Normally, weekdays, I pretty much will be sat in the office up until my pre-workout meal time. But today, we managed to get wrapped up before meal two, which is just about to go down at 10:30. So no change to meal two. Meal two is still 125 rice, 200 grams of chicken, and peppers and mushrooms. The volume of the food is being kept low, as I do want to keep the midsection nice and tight. One thing I found as well is when you keep the food volume low, your stomach shrinks and you're not actually quite as hungry. So hunger is definitely welcomed, as I actually prefer being hungry, but I do find that volumizing the food doesn't help your midsection control, but it also doesn't help with satiety. I think it's false satiety. I think people like to expand the stomach. They'll probably feel satiated for like a portion of 15 minutes, and then because they expand the gut, the hunger is even higher. So anyway, that's the wrap for the day. Productive morning. Clients are absolutely killing it. So super happy with that. Some crazy progress with some of my guys and girls that I'll probably be displaying on Instagram. But it's fun watching it unfold, because I can definitely see how committed some of the guys and girls are, and it definitely pays off because it's showing in the progression both in and outside the gym. I just got a voice note from Gary as well, with how much I've helped him as well with his coaching and his business in general and his routine, and he's killing it. So I think there's enough success for everyone, right, in this game, and I think if we're able to bring each other up, we're always gonna make more progress that way. So that's always my take. Anyway, meal number 2 time. Here we go. We've got a pineapple, and then we've got my meal number 2, 125 rice, 50 grams of veg, 200 grams of chicken, salt, seasonings and some no calorie added. Low calorie, no calorie. There's no such thing as no calorie. Very low calorie sauce. We've got 5 grams. So that's meal number 2. Okay, pre-workout meal is about to get cooked up. I've got glutamine and I do have creatine, which I always have pretty much before my pre-workout meal. I've had my coffee already, so I'm actually using my coffee cup. And glutamine is running a little bit low, so I'm going to have to get a fresh tub. But generally 10 grams of glutamine and 5 grams of creatine will go in that. And then I'll have more glutamine and creatine both in the intra-workout drink as well. So that will be the concoction that I do like to have for hydration, gut health, and for all the performance and cognitive function benefits that creatine does provide. So if you're not using them, you're missing out. Okay, pre-workout meal is about to get cooked up. So I've put my cream of rice onto the scales. Because it's piping hot and I've just cooked it, I am going to put a little bit of water in it. So generally, I do not like to add whey on top if it's pretty much just come out of the microwave, because it can make it go a little bit funny. So we've got one of the newest flavors of Whey ISO Pro, which is the chocolate honeycomb, code Kuba 10, you know the drill. And then we've got my sticky toffee cream of rice. Actually, that's chocolate orange, not sticky toffee. So you'll have to excuse me, but it is my, it's my sticky toffee. Not sticky toffee. Sticky toffee is going to be pre-bed tonight. I've got my chocolate orange cream of rice to go down. I've put Meg's food on the pan as well. All of our meals, we always like to put on the pan rather as opposed to microwave. I think it always tastes better. It doesn't taste as dry, and you can always crisp it up on the pan nicely. Now, key to perfect consistency cream of rice is using a whisk to not only mix your cream of rice, but if you are mixing your whey into your cream of rice, you definitely want to use a whisk so that it's actually evenly spread and it's actually distributed in a perfect fashion. Now, I don't like my cream of rice like soup. I like more of a consistency that resembles more of a sludge. So that's how it gets cooked up. Now, if you want a cream of rice tutorial, I've made one years ago. So if you want to give it a whirl to see how it's made, you can always give that a watch. But my pineapple's going to go on top now. And I will cut it up with scissors to add it on the very top. And then a little bit of cinnamon, and jobs are good. I've already added my salt inside as well. Generally I have 2 grams of salt. And then the job is done for the pre-workout meal. And we always eat our pre around 60 to 90 minutes before training. That generally gives me plenty of time to have my stomach pretty much empty by the time I'm in the gym. Generally, if you do find yourself training on a full stomach, you probably never get the same pump. So always, always, always eat your pre-workout meal away from training so that your stomach can be empty and there is no blood getting pulled into your stomach for digestion purposes. Okay, leg day. We are going to North Leeds because I want to do the original nasty Temple Gym leg press, which is in the Temple corner at UltraFlex North Leeds. So today's session, normally I would hit the seated hamstring curl, which would be bilateral, but I noticed I had a little bit of a niggle in my right hamstring the last time I actually did it. So what I am going to do instead today is some unilateral hamstring work to begin with, whilst Meg and Mark do the bilateral, and then I will move on to the leg extensions after, and then the leg press,
and then finish on RDL. Generally, we would do calves at the very end. However, I actually do my calf work on a leg press. So the session as a whole will be structured a little bit differently in a fashion where we are going to do hamstring work, leg extension, leg press. Then we follow that up with the calf press on the leg press just to save time and save messing around. And then we will move on to the RDL to finish. So it's almost like the original nasty Dorian Yates leg day that he did for Blood and Guts, just without the hack squat. Otherwise, we'd have to drive all the way to Durham to use the hack squat, which is the unique hack squat. But anyway, the drive isn't too bad from where we actually live to North Leeds. It's only like 30 minutes-ish, depending on the traffic or depending on the vehicle transportation process, if you know what I mean. So we shall see, we shall see. I definitely want to continue doing the session at North Leeds because I found at Rotherham, I do get bugged quite a lot. So it's very hard for me to just walk in the gym and work, because when I walk in the gym, there's often things I have to tend to, whether it's issues with management or just general gym queries that need taking care of. So at the moment, I do need some days where I can just walk in and work with absolutely no distraction. And this is where the dream of having a private gym space is the one, where I can come in, do my content, do my training uninterrupted. I think a conversation I had with Jordan the other day is we've worked for over a decade doing this, coaching, training, bodybuilding, competing, to be able to warrant getting a private space. So we'll see, something to explore for the future. But again, it all depends on how the year pans out and where we are in the situation. Anyway, see you on the gym floor for a big nasty leg day. Blood and Guts style. Let's get it. Right guys, bit of a voiceover. We've got kneeling leg curl. This felt absolutely amazing, and I will fill you in on why I am moving to more unilateral work for hamstrings in the next clip, but this machine from original Temple Gym is incredible. If you get a chance to use it, definitely give it a shot. It's insane. Probably older than me, but does the job. Number one was single leg hamstring curl. Main reason why I did single leg today is because I have had a bit of hamstring niggle the last time I did the seated hamstring curl, so I'm probably going to switch to single leg work from my hamstring work for a little while until it evens itself out. Generally, if I have a niggle, I can always fix it with training. Direct training, not some stupid exercises that physio like to give that do nothing. Right. Shout out to Hustler, is it Hustler lifting for the extra range of motion on the pad. Right, leg extension 101. Get your joints stacked, hips down, knees pointing up and forward, lined up with a pivot point. Strap yourself the fuck in and get after it. Right, here we go. Leg press. OG Cybex leg press, straight from Temple Gym. Those of you that don't know, Charles Morden had actually bought majority of the kit that is from Temple. So we get the pleasure of being able to use the same kit as the legend, the master himself, Dorian Yates. Now, this isn't quite Dorian numbers, but I do think the quality is actually pretty decent, considering its templates aside. Now, here, my goal the next session will be a little bit more depth if I can without my pelvis rolling. And I definitely want to try and aim to take a little bit more of a progression with reps the next time I hit this, because this is now getting pretty damn heavy, and I do not want to run into any issues with my connective tissue. So from here, the progression now will be extremely patient, scraping another rep or small load progressions as I go through each set and each session. Now, I'm pretty happy with the quality of this, because this leg press in particular is extremely direct for your quads, and any of you that have used it know how hard it actually is. So using this definitely gives me the Dorian vibes. So we send it. Moving on, we have got seated calf press. The reason why I do it in the leg press is because it's actually my favourite variation. I feel like I can get a lot more quality reps from doing this as opposed to using any calf machine that I've ever used. And I was already on the leg press, so it only makes sense to get stuck into the working sets, save time, save messing around trying to get on different machines, and be a little bit more efficient. Now, I do this and then I move on to my final set of the workout, which is one set of barbell RDL, and it's still not the prettiest because I have had to have a break for around, I would say 6-7 weeks from RDLing, because I had stem cells in my spine, just for longevity. Nothing's wrong, don't worry guys, but I was not able to hip hinge because my back felt extremely fragile. So it has taken some time to get back on point and in check. So as you can see here guys, this is still skill acquisition part of running this lift, where each week this will actually feel lighter as I do go over and experience some neurological adaptations. And then as the weeks go by and I get more proficient and efficient at the lift, I will be able to lift more with better form and even better range. Okay, that is the session wrapped up. We've got my post-workout meal now, which is the usual 250 grams of cod, slight reduction in cod, and 125 grams of cream of rice with 100 grams of blueberries, which is a slight reduction in the rice in my post-workout. So minor changes to the diet are implemented, 300 calories less overall for the day, which has definitely seen a very good shift in fat loss so far, especially where I'm at right now at 269 today. So I'm going to eat the post-workout in the gym car park in peace and quiet with some YouTube on, then travel home and give you a prep update. So I'll see you when I get back. Now, a bit of a taste test for you all with vanilla cream of rice. Beautiful stuff. Okay, guys and girls, we are back home and it's now 6:30, so time for meal number 5. Meal number 5 has changed a little bit. We've got my usual salmon. So 100 grams of wild salmon, 150 grams of prawns, 50 grams of mushroom, 50 grams of spinach, and the peppers that I distribute across all the meals, and 50 grams of pineapple as well. And I do have my omegas and my magnesium that I do tend to have with this meal. Meg will kindly get me some water so I can actually get it down. Now, one thing that's actually come to my mind when I was driving back home, and it's off the back of a conversation with a client, I understand that, especially in prep, hunger is going to be extremely high. However, if your desire to eat outweighs your desire to win and your desire to progress and your desire to do this, you're probably mentally not in a good place to prep. You have to be completely set on wanting to achieve this goal. And the desire to achieve the goal should far outweigh any fatigue that you may feel, any hunger, any external feeling. That is a recipe for a winning mindset. That is how Meg was able to win 2 shows last year, qualify for Olympia and get top 15 in the world. And that is the approach that I have always tried to take for all my preps. So just something to be mindful of, guys. No matter how shit you may feel, no matter how hungry you may get, that want and desire to succeed should far outweigh any other feeling that you may have. Write it down, motherfuckers. Right, I'm going to get them meters down. Right, got my Dargis Final Pro. And taste test, as Meg actually put this in the pan for me while I was in the bath. We're good. Thank you. Okay, guys and girls, prep update going down. So I wanted to cover my body weight first. I sat pretty much at 275 on the 4th of the 6th. Then we went down to 273, 274, 272, 271, 270.8, and then 269 this morning. We actually implemented the changes from the 8th. So we are pretty much 5 days into the changes. So I definitely think body's got the memo now with the fat loss. And generally, I have already seen a massive shift forward in condition, but especially since we made the food changes on Tuesday, it's been a very decent shift forward. So I am pretty pleased. We probably don't want to really move much faster than this, but initially, a little bit of a higher rate of loss is completely fine, especially as we do have more body fat to clip off initially. This is where we'll be aiming to slow down that rate of loss towards back end of the prep, especially now 21 weeks out. I feel like not only I'm ahead, but also on track for the plans that I have alongside of Dean for this prep and how I envision the look to be. Today, we have got 4,350 calories for the day, and that will be 350 grams of protein, 625 carb and 50 fat. And the difference is simply 300 calorie reduction coming from carbs only. And rest days, again, 300 calorie reduction coming from protein and carbs. So my protein actually got lowered down to 350, carbs at 450, down from like 475 or 500, and fats down to 50 from 60 grams. So calories have been dropped down a decent chunk. And for me, at my body weight, at my size now, this definitely puts me in a hefty deficit. There is no fat burners added at the moment. There is just dietary changes that are moving me along. I'm feeling great. Training performance is improving. I think the look is changing in a positive way. We still have a lot of tools left to play with supplementation. And supplementation has only just been reintroduced a couple of weeks ago as well. So this is where the physique will actually start to change a lot and training performance will actually start to increase, hopefully. Now, with that in mind, guys, I'm not actually looking to actively push my loading. I'm looking to somewhat maintain my lifts and take progression if it's there only. The goal in a calorie deficit is always to maintain strength and power to the best of our ability. That is how a lot of my natural clients have to approach the prep, and that is how I approach my prep myself. That's the smartest thing to do. That way, the quality and stimulus and tension remains, because ultimately, what built the muscle will make it stay. So that's the approach you have to take to training within a contest prep. So that is my prep update, guys. I will continue doing the weekly vlogs for you, and I will see you at 20 weeks out, but I will still cover the last meal for you, just as it hasn't changed now, but I'm still going to do it. As you guys love the cream of rice. If you're going to ask me how much water I've added to it, I've added 300 mils of water to 100 grams of cream of rice to make it compact and less volume so that the midsection stays tight. So yeah, there's a guy that's, some of you probably watching this have had the comment asking how much cream of rice to add to the water. I think he asks everybody the same question and expects a different answer. And I think that's just down to probably him wanting to like add, I don't know, 5 million litres of water to it. I do not like cream of soup. I like cream of rice. And like I said earlier, trying to cheat hunger just doesn't work, just makes it worse. So you need to embrace it. You need to focus on the goal. And a little bit on hunger, actually, before I go and chill on the sofa. If your goal means enough to you, and if you are determined enough, no feeling should ever distract you from the goal of making progress or being your best. Hunger will get severe. You will get severely tired. Fatigue will set. You will be extremely hungry. However, none of these feelings should ever outweigh your desire to succeed and your desire to win. So with that in mind, guys, if your mind is constantly fixated on hunger as opposed to doing the task and doing the job, you are probably not in the right headspace to prep. Your mind should be focused on the task at hand, and you should be visualizing winning or trying to simply be your best. That is the desire that needs to take over and drive you forward. Food for thought, guys. I think the people that have that perception always tend to have not only better outcomes, but also an easier prep. I think where prep does become challenging is where people do hyperfixate on either being tired or hungry. None of these feelings fucking matter. Your feedback on fatigue and being tired is valid, yes, especially to your coach. That's something that I emphasize to clients, but you know, telling someone you're hungry doesn't really mean anything because it's part of the game, guys. Accept it and realize that the more peace you have at managing it and leaning into it, looking at a perspective of, if I'm hungry, it's working. Good. I'm hungry, but I'm eating 6 meals a day. Doesn't matter how hungry I can get, I will still have a meal every 2 hours. Some people don't eat in a week. Once you have that perception in your mind, it becomes a fucking breeze. And dieting really is a breeze in comparison to some of the stuff that I had to do in past, and in comparison to what people have to go through in this day and age. It's easy. Remember that. Guys and girls, that is the nightcap. We've got my chocolate orange cream of rice and custard YSO Pro. We've got 100 grams cream of rice. I had some kiwi and mixed berries with 15 grams of almond butter and 60 grams of ISO Pro. So that is the last meal, pardon me. This hasn't changed. The last meal is still the same. So this gets eaten latest 8:45, 9 o'clock. And then I go straight to sleep. And yes, I do go straight to sleep after eating. It definitely works for me. And it keeps me sleeping good, so. Good night, guys and girls. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you. And make sure you like, share and subscribe.